Today, we're here to discuss the vital stream restoration projects happening right here in Ellicott City, but also throughout all of Howard County. Much of Howard County was built around the numerous creeks, streams, and tributaries that flow into the Patapsco and Patuxent rivers, and eventually lead to our Chesapeake Bay. For many of our residents, these small creeks and streams pass through or near their property. And with increasingly harsh rainstorms, invasive plants, and frankly just time, the stream banks begin to erode and deteriorate. Small foot-wide streams can become severely eroded, decreasing the water quality and causing additional environmental issues downstream. Here at Fells Lane, this stream feeds into the Tiber-Hudson branch that flows directly under Main Street, Ellicott City. After the 2018 storm, the large water flow caused extensive damage to the banks of this stream. Today, we're breaking ground on the stream restoration of 1,100 linear feet of this tributary, and this project is one of many. There are more than 20 stream restoration projects currently in design or under construction, and since 2018, we've completed more than 10 stream restorations in Howard County. In total, the 32 projects make up more than 10 miles of streams and tributaries. While many of our stormwater and flood mitigation efforts have been focused on Ellicott City, these stream restoration projects span across Howard County. A few miles up Main Street, in our Font Hill neighborhood, we recently completed a 5,000-foot stream restoration. And in Jessup, we recently finished restoring more than 2,400 feet of tributary near Dorsey Run. The beneficial impact is multifaceted. And as these streams are reconstructed, our Department of Public Works uses natural materials, rocks and wood, introduces native plants to prevent erosion and encourage wildlife, and plant new trees. On this 1,100-foot project we're breaking ground on today, 24 trees will be removed, but more than 300 trees will be planted. For every tree that's removed, 12 will be planted in its place. Trees are some of the most effective tools we have when it comes to sustainability and protecting our environment for future generations. Which is why each of our stream restoration projects requires twice as many trees to be planted for every tree that needs to be removed. In fact, since taking office, our team has planted, with your help, more than 52,000 trees. Our efforts to restore our natural streams and tributaries also help reduce the number of impervious surfaces in Howard County, leading to less runoff and better stormwater management. Because of efforts like this, we are a leader in the state of Maryland in treating impervious surfaces. Through all of these efforts, Howard County continues to be a model of environmental sustainability throughout our entire region. Our environment impacts our daily lives, and we must do everything that we can to preserve, protect, and restore these important parts of our community for current and future generations. Thank you.
And as the county executive mentioned, the county is undertaking numerous stream restoration and water quality type projects. And I want to recognize the efforts of our Bureau of Environmental Services, Mark DeLuca, the Bureau Chief, and his staff for their continued efforts in pursuing these projects. Many of these projects are a collaborative effort with the Office of Community Sustainability, and we're excited to begin another project within the Ellicott City watershed. This is the second part of a project to upgrade this neglected stream channel. Part one was the slope stabilization and road work done upstream on Courthouse Drive. And this project, part two, will specifically, as mentioned, restore approximately 1,100 linear feet of stream that is equivalent to treating approximately 22 acres of impervious area. It will also greatly reduce the actively eroding stream adjacent to Lot F, which is over to my left, and it will reduce the sediments into Hudson Branch, reduce in-stream erosion, and improve water quality by using wood and rock structures as well as plantings to reestablish a more natural stream channel. As mentioned, approximately 24 trees will be removed for construction. However, 300 trees will be planted along the project channel to provide stability and improve overall water quality. Another important aspect is that the limit of disturbance was carefully established to avoid the removal of any specimen trees. The project is partially funded through the county's Watershed Protection and Restoration Fund and the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Public Assistance Program as a result of the May 2018 flooding event. Construction is expected to start this fall and to be complete by next spring of 2022.
So, when we talk about protecting the environment, so often in these different projects, we are on this search for this silver bullet, this one project that will fix everything. And the truth is we know that doesn't exist. But what we do is we put together this mosaic of programs and projects that collectively will protect our environment. And this project is a true keystone in the overall project of protecting and preserving the Hudson Branch. You notice I switched from an art metaphor to an architecture metaphor, but or maybe you didn't notice that. But by keystone, it really is this fundamental project. When my office, the Office of Community Sustainability, works with folks to show them the problems, the environmental problems that Howard County is facing. We take folks on a tour around the county, and the first place that we stop is the top of this stream, and we show them the crumbling stream banks and the massive erosion that is coming from this stream. And so this project is truly a premier way in which we are tackling the problems that face the Hudson watershed. And then finally, and you've heard it before from the county executive and from the director of public works. But I think what is really fantastic about this project is not only are we fixing the stream bed, not only are we restoring this stream, but we are leaving this site significantly better environmentally than we found it, than we walked in. So you take what's called the limit of disturbance, and that's where we do everything we can to limit how much of the land that we disturb. But then when we're done with this project, putting in 300 trees to make it so this is the entire area, not just the stream we restored, is prepared to help protect the Hudson watershed. So thank you very much for this project, and thank you.
My first flood, Ellicott City flood, was in 2011. I was up there, up above the wine bin when I worked for the Center for Watershed Protection. I was working on the first Tiber Hudson Watershed Action Plan. And in that planning process, we identified a number of priority projects, of which this is a part of that. So I'm really excited to see this go in the ground for that reason. I took the flood work group out, showed them this project. I'm glad it's going forward. Since that time of the 2011 flood, a lot has changed in terms of our knowledge of the watershed, our expectations for dealing with flash floods, and that how we need to be more prepared in dealing with them, our overall approach to the problem, the stakeholders that have been involved, and the community's response. As someone that's worked in watersheds around the country on both the planning and implementation side of protection and restoration, it is the Tiber watershed that I have come to know the best. I've walked these stream channels dozens and dozens of times now. I've seen the failures and changes in the streams after each successive storm. The stream banks are failing in many locations as a result of unmitigated stormwater runoff. They're clogged with sediment that largely comes from stream bank erosion. In this case, we also have an eroding hill slope that is the source of a tremendous amount of sediment into the Tiber watershed, and you can see that at the end of this stream here at the outfall. So I'm super excited to see this going in the ground. I think it's a holistic approach that addresses stormwater erosion, sedimentation, and water quality throughout this micro drainage area that starts up at the courthouse parking lot. This comprehensive watershed-based solution, coupled with the larger retention and conveyance projects identified in the Safe and Sound Plan, plus the community engagement approaches and education, such as those led by my organization, Howard EcoWorks, are going to go a long way toward making Ellicott City more resilient to future storms. And another benefit of these stream restoration projects around the county is that they support workforce development and green jobs programs. My organization leads in the stewardship of all of the counties, 17 stream restoration projects. That's probably not all of them. But anyway, we're taking care of a whole bunch of them, and the work that we are doing is supporting green jobs and career readiness for underserved and young adult members of our population. I think that's another benefit that shouldn't go without stating. So thank you very much.
Your call.
3, 2, 1.
I think we got it. Thank you.
Great job, team.